As we approach the end of 2023, now's a great time to pause and reflect on how 2023 has gone when it comes to our personal finances and really start preparing ourselves for an empowering and thriving 2024. So with that being said, in my most recent video, I shared 10 amazing tips and things that you can consider when it comes to resetting financially 2024. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing 10 more tips and 10 more things you can consider looking at when it comes to your personal finances and getting yourself ready for a thriving and prosperous 2024. So if you missed part 1 of the video, I'm going to link it up there for you to watch after this video. But without further ado, I'm going to jump into those 10 different ways you can start to reset financially for the new year. First thing you want to do is to look at your subscriptions for 2023. Have they served you and have they brought you the value that you've paid? Those are questions that you really want to interrogate and ask yourself when it comes to how you've spent your money this year on subscriptions. If you're okay with how much you spent in total across your different subscriptions, then that's fine. No further action is required. But if actually you're thinking, I spent over £1,000 on gym membership this year and I've been 5 times, that isn't the best bang for your buck. And actually maybe in 2024 you might want to reconsider whether the gym membership is something you want to renew. Also, other subscriptions that you have that you may be paying for that you're not using or getting the most value out of, now's the time to consider cancelling those subscriptions so that you're not paying an arm and a leg for something that you're not using in the new year. Now's the time to really sit back and think about, how can I achieve that same result for less money? So yes, gym membership cost me £1,000 and I used it 5 or 6 times, but maybe next year, instead of going to the gym, I'm going to go for long walks, or I'm going to go for runs, or I'm going to do exercise videos on YouTube in my living room. There's so many different ways you can achieve the same result without having to pay extra money for it. So as you're sitting back post Christmas and reflecting on how the year's gone and what you want to do differently in the new year, consider where you can make those cutbacks on your subscriptions, and this time next year you're going to be so glad that you made that decision. Another thing you want to reflect on is your self-care and your financial well-being. Are you okay with how much you've taken care of yourself in 2023? Have you done those massages that you promised yourself at the start of the year you were going to do? Have you taken those spa breaks that you promised yourself you were going to take? Have you poured into yourself in the way you wanted to intentionally in 2023? If the answer is no, how are you going to do that differently in 2024? What changes can you make to your time management to ensure that you are prioritizing your self-care in 2024? Because the reality is there is such a big correlation between your financial well-being and your overall well-being, and you want to make sure that you are doing your best when it comes to your self-care to make sure you are doing your best financially. As we're entering into the new year, you really want to prioritize self-care, really want to prioritize making sure you're looking after yourself, showing up for yourself and investing and pouring into yourself, because this is really going to reduce your levels of stress and it's also going to impact your financial decision making in a positive way. Another thing you want to review is the amount of giving that you've done in 2023. Are you happy with how liberal you've been, how much of a blessing you've been able to be to other people, to charities, to your local church, whatever it is that you like to give to beyond yourself and outside of your immediate family? That's something you really want to look at and reflect upon as the year draws to a close. If you're not okay with the amount of charitable giving that you've done in 2023, ask yourself, what can I do differently in 2024? What charitable causes do I want to support? How much do I want to support them with? How am I going to show up for them? How am I going to donate to them? Is it going to be financially? Is it going to be in time? Is it going to be in products? Am I going to give from the abundance that I have at home? Just really ask yourself how you're going to show up differently in 2024 to ensure that you are more liberal and you are a bigger giver. Another thing you want to do to reset financially for the new year is to negotiate your bills and expenses. Look at your bills that you have currently. Are there ones that are up for review that you can start looking at ways to make cutbacks on? So for example, your mobile phone bill, have you been with the same mobile service provider for a number of years and not had any upgrades or not changed your contract in a few years? Now's the time to really look at them and put placeholders in your diary for 2024 when they're up for renewal, so that you can cancel and amend them as necessary when that time comes in 2024. Because what you don't want to do is just auto renew when it comes to subscriptions and contracts, because when you do that, you end up paying a premium. Your loyalty ends up costing you. The reality is a lot of these companies charge more to their loyal customers than they do to newly acquired customers. So shop around, shop smart, and don't just take the first price that they give you. Shop around to make sure you are getting the most bang for your buck and you're getting the most value for your money. Even when it comes to things like your internet, when it comes to your utilities, gas, electricity, shop around, negotiate, make sure you are getting the best price for these services that you are receiving. Don't just go with the flow and go with what you're used to. Yes, it may be inconvenient and take you some extra time to call these different service providers, but it's worth it in the long run if it means it's going to save you hundreds of pounds every single month. Another thing you want to do when it comes to resetting financially for 2024 is find your tribe. So when I say find your tribe, I'm talking about getting around like-minded people who are on a similar financial mission to yourself, because sometimes it can be hard when you're trying to do things differently and your circle immediately around you are not on the same page as you or are not pursuing the same things you are doing, because you might come across like you're doing too much to those people because they're not used to thinking in the way you're now starting to think. So getting around like-minded people, finding your community, finding your tribe is going to really help you stay motivated in 2024 to pursue the financial goals that you're trying to pursue. So whether it's saving money, paying down debt, starting a side hustle, all these different things that you want to try financially, investing as well, all these things that you want to do to get your money working better for you in 2024, find other people on a similar page. It gives you that motivation and the morale you need to keep going, and you can also learn a lot from that community too. I know since I started my financial freedom journey and I joined the YouTube community and Instagram community and pages on Facebook, I have learned so much. I've met so many like-minded people and I'm able to bounce ideas off of them and learn so much from them too, and it helps with motivation and morale on that financial freedom journey, because it's not easy when you're trying to pursue financial goals and when life is happening at the same time. But having people that you can talk to share ideas with, to kind of share what you're going through with, it gives you that motivation that you need to keep going, and you can get that encouragement that you need as well on your financial journey. Another thing you want to do when it comes to resetting financially for the new year is consider how you've been spending in 2023. Have you been spending as mindfully as you would like? When you look at your expenses over the last 12 months, do they reflect your values and what is really important to you? Do they reflect where you're trying to go financially in 2024? You have to be really honest with yourself and have those deep conversations with yourself, because in doing this, you're going to be able to discover what the truth is for you. If you're saying you value spending quality time with your family, but you've wasted thousands of pounds on things that are not important to you or your family, then actually maybe in 2024 you want to do things differently and ensure that, no, when I'm spending money, it's intentional. I'm spending money in a way that aligns with what I really value and what I really prioritize and what is really important to me. So these are conversations that it's great to have with yourself as the year draws to a close and you have that little bit of downtime between Christmas and New Year. It's a great time to really be reflective and really ponder on how the year has gone and how you've shown up for yourself financially and what you want to do differently in 2024, so that you can be more mindful and you can be more intentional with what you give your time and your money to. As the year draws to a close, now's a great time for you to check your credit score. This is something that is great to check at least every quarter, but at least once a year at the very minimum. Check what your credit score currently is. Are you happy with the credit score that you have, and what can you do differently to improve your credit score as you enter into 2024? Some things that you can do to improve your credit score will be to pay off as much of your high interest debt as you can. The less credit utilization that you have, or the lower your credit utilization score is, the better your credit score will be. Another thing you can do to improve your credit score is to limit the amount of new accounts that you're opening in a short window of time, and you also want to make sure that you're paying your bills on time. Another thing that you really want to consider, which isn't as exciting and interesting to do but is very, very important, is to look at your legal matters. When I say look at your legal matters, I'm talking about things relating to your legal affairs and your estate planning. Are you a property owner? Do you have investments? Do you have savings that you want to leave to your loved one should the worst happen to you? Do you have a will in place that reflects that? If you don't have a will, now's the time to really consider writing that will. Do you have a legal power of attorney? I know that's something that we don't like to talk about because, you know, who wants to talk about the worst thing happening or life happening to you? But the reality is life can happen to any of us at any time. And should the worst happen, should you be unable to make decisions when it comes to your personal finances, do you have a trusted family member in place that is going to take those affairs on for you. If you don't, now's the time again to consider, do I want to have a legal power of attorney, and who is that going to be, and what steps do I need to take to make that happen? These are important things to start considering as the year comes to a close and as we're entering into a new year. Another great way to reset financially for 2024 is to have regular family financial meetings. If that's not something you had in 2023, it's definitely something you want to consider starting to implement with your family in the new year. These regular family meetings are a great time to sit down and talk about the family budget, talk about the family finances. Where are you planning to go in 2024? What is the budget for the quarter? Where are we planning to spend our money? What kind of side hustles do we want to start as a family? All of these are great conversations that you can start having in family meetings in the lead up to the new year and beyond. It's great to have these meetings individually, but also as a family with the children involved as well, so that you're all on the same page and you all have a common goal in which you're all working and striving towards. So the final way you want to financially reset for 2024 is to look at the financial education resources that you've consumed in 2023. Have you consumed enough? Have you learned enough about the different areas of personal finance that you wanted to get better at in 2023? Have you read the right books? Have you listened to podcasts? Have you consumed all the content you needed to consume in order to become more financially literate? If the answer to that question is no, now's the time to consider what you're going to do differently in 2024. How are you going to learn more about the different money topics that you want to learn about? What books are you going to read? What resources are you going to tap into? There's a wealth of resources online, YouTube, Instagram. There's so many books. Just this year alone, there's been so many new personal finance books that have come out from authors in the UK, which have been great. I'll link a few of them in the description box below so that you can check them out after this video, so that you can learn more about money. A couple of great podcasts that I would recommend you listen to. There's the Money Clinic with Claire Barrett. There's the Meaningful Money podcast with Pete Matthews. And there's also the AJ Bell's Money Markets podcast, which I actually was a guest on once upon a time. I'll link it in the description box below if I can find the episode that I was on. But yeah, there's so many amazing podcasts that you can listen to, so many great money books, so many great YouTube channels like my own and many other personal finance channels that you can listen to on various money topics, so that you can improve your financial education in the lead up onto 2024 and beyond. So those are just 10 different ways that you can financially reset for 2024. I hope you found them useful, and I hope you will try and at least apply a few of them in the lead up to 2024. Let me know which of those 10 things you're going to be looking at changing in the lead up to 2024, which of those you're going to be working at, reviewing and resetting in the lead up to the new year. But if you made it this far in the video and you haven't yet given it a thumbs up, you know exactly what you need to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet subscribed, share this video with a friend or family member, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.